What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily Rewind. Is where we go back and we can give you the past 7 days of tech news videos in one single video. Now, this week was amazing because we found out some information about the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and its brand new design. We talked about an exclusive story that I broke on the internet that a lot of people still don't know, and it's the display sizes on the Google Pixel 6. We talk about the S24 Ultra, and we talk about a lot of other stuff as well. So enjoy this week, and we'll see you in the next one. First one is about the Galaxy Z Fold 5, and another beta update has been pushed out for this phone, so I want to go through what exactly we are seeing on this. So first of all, we're going to see bugs that have been fixed and improved with an overall software stability update. That's part of the update. Known issues still are the fold disappears, minimize close button on split screen while using DeX, which how many people probably have that issue. The flip has the issue sometimes FC occurs during camera pro mode shooting, and also the flip sometimes quick panel background is displayed black. So it seems like they're even closer to the official release on this one. There's less and less issues going on with the phone, and that's a great thing. I literally just downloaded it on mine. It's back up, and it's been great so far in terms of the betas. I've been really happy with the reliability and not really too many bugs overall with the phone. So if you have the beta, go out there, grab it right now. But the last story of the day is a really, really good one, and that is the official release for One UI 6 for the Galaxy S23 phones is finally starting to come out. And we know that because it's not out in America yet. At least I tried and I don't have the update out, but it's definitely out in Europe. People that have the beta and don't have the beta. So you don't have to necessarily have the beta to get this update pushed out to you. The update should be rolling out over the next few days, week, 2 weeks for everybody. But again, it is rolling out right now, the official release in some parts of the world. I know Germany, I believe the UK also got it, but there are places that are getting the update for One UI 6 officially for everybody. And that's, again, awesome, awesome news, meaning you're gonna get some new features built into there, the Android 14 stuff. First one has to do with One UI 6 and a fix that's coming for November. As you know, the official release has already started to come out with the S23 phones. At least I talked about it yesterday. Hopefully you watched the video, but if you didn't, it did. So it's starting to roll out to S23 phones throughout the world, have them being people that already were on the beta and people that didn't have the beta at all. It's being pushed out. But there's a fix coming in with the speed and the fluidity of the animations, and that is that the One UI 6 animation widgets fix is coming in November software update. Quote unquote, we are preparing for the improvements to be reflected with November, so we would appreciate your patience. And if you kind of look at this little thing that the moderator said on the Samsung forums, it basically just says that when using the bottom to type navigation or swipe gesture from bottom to top, the animation returning to the widget is working normally, so please take note of that. Swipe gesture in multiple directions could cause an issue. So basically it doesn't happen all the time, but I guess it happens about 2% of the time, and it's something they want to get fixed where it kind of stutters and things like that. So just be mindful if you do have the One UI 6 update and you have this issue where you're going from the widgets back to the home screen and back, and you have some kind of, it doesn't look pretty or the animation is just kind of stuttery, it should be fixed next month. But our last story of the day is a pretty freaking cool one because of the fact that, as you know, not all Samsung phones, especially the older ones, I'm talking the 20 series, the Note 20s, the S20s, were rumored to be ending their software support at Android 13. Well, it looks like that is not going to be true. So if you have one of these older phones, it looks like One UI 6 is coming to you. This is straight from Samsung's press release, and it says that Samsung is here with a surprise. One UI 6 with Android 14 seems to be coming to all flagships launched in 2020. S20, Note 20, Z Fold 2, Z Flip series are all getting the update based on a press release. And then when we look at the press release, you can see highlighted One UI 6 will be available in the next coming days, and then highlighted you can see available on those following phones down below, and you can see the Note 20 series, the older folds, the older flips. So this is great news. So if you had one of those phones you're worried about software support and some features not coming to your phone, it looks like it still will be, even though it's officially kind of not supported still. So First story has to do with the Galaxy S24 series, and we've seen renders made up by folks that are in the industry, but what about cases? Because cases can tell a big story of how the design is going to change or not change, and these cases show that the design does not look like it's changing at all. And here's a look at the cases of the 24 Ultra, 24 Plus, and regular S24, and you can see again not really any change at all with these phones, and it's too bad. I like to see a different look to a phone over the years, and they just really haven't changed this design in a while. They probably won't until maybe next year. You would assume it would probably be the 25 one where they would, because it's a big number, and they're probably going to do this every 5 years from here on out to cut down on costs, because obviously it takes time, energy, and money to change the look of a phone, and to also just make it easier for them to design it. So there you guys go. That is looking like the design of the S24 series of phone. But all is not lost. We might, and I personally, I'll admit, don't think this will happen, but there's rumblings. Maybe we'll get faster charging. This has come to us and gone away from us, and this and that with the Samsung phones, of course. And the 24, could we see faster charging? Well, this is the information that's coming out from Ravignas, who's saying Samsung supplier of smartphone charger transformers, Atom, has updated its charger portfolio to include 65 watt and 140 watt chargers. Does this mean that the upcoming Galaxy smartphones will support 65 watts? I don't personally think so. I think we'll still see 45 watt, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope we see at least 65 watt. That would obviously decrease the amount of time that it takes to fully charge a phone. If it takes basically an hour, you're probably looking at, that will probably cut it down to 50 minutes or so. Actually, no, it would probably cut it down to about 45 minutes to do 0 to 100. So that's nice. That's really, really nice. So hopefully we'll see this come to Samsung. I don't think we'll see 140 watt for years to come. We have an absolute insane story about the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and basically a complete redesign of this phone. And I have to admit, I won't even tell you my opinions to the end. It's insane though. If this comes true, this is a completely different design than any foldable phone we have ever seen. It's gonna take some getting used to, that is for damn sure. So without further ado, this information is coming from a patent that was found, and I'll link the whole story down below. You can go there, and you can also check out the official patent paperwork as well. And it just shows off some crazy, crazy diagrams of this phone, and it is, you have to see this. So let's dive in to this. So first of all, here's a really basic photo showing you how the stylus is going to be attached to the back of the Galaxy Z Fold 6. You can see the main display kind of looks normal, and then you can see on the side here, it looks like, and there's two photos here, it looks like it goes on the back, right? I assume. But then on the right hand side of the photo, it kind of looks like it attaches to the side of the phone. So, and again, this is not a case. This is built into the phone, but again, it goes onto the back or the side. It's hard to tell. It ends up looking like it's on the side for the most part. The next photo shows you what I've been dying to show you, and that is the front of the display. And again, if you look at the front of this display, and maybe they're just trying to show it in a 3D type of render, so that's why it looks like this, but it looks like the phone is a folder design similar to the Galaxy Z Flip 5 front display, where you get that folder display. And it would kind of make sense why Samsung did that, especially if they're trying to do that with the Z Fold 6 front display. But a couple of other things that you see with the Z Fold 6 on the front display is that it will have the ability to write on the front of the display and also the main display. They never show any screenshots on the main display, but they show it on the front display. But without a doubt, it'll be on both displays. So that was a huge, huge takeaway from this, is seeing that on there. Another image that we're going to check out is the S Pen. And this S Pen has multiple buttons on it. And I would assume we're not going to get an S Pen with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buttons on there. It's probably going to be, we'll get one of these S Pens. What do the buttons do? Well, it will have Bluetooth functionality built into it, especially if it attaches directly to the phone, because it will charge on the phone. and you'll be able to use the battery built into it so that you can use the Bluetooth buttons for taking better photos, or taking photos, I should say, doing air gestures, and probably a multitude of other things. That's why it would potentially have multiple buttons on there. Here's another photo showing that the upper button press and the lower button press and how the S Pen would fit in there. And it makes the S Pen look really, really small based off this diagram. I guess there's a possibility it will be that small, and there's a possibility that it will have this folder design. It's just very interesting how they're showing this off, because like I said, in one image they're showing it on the back, and then on another image they're showing it on the front. But ultimately they're really pressing that you're going to be able to do all kinds of things on that front display with the S Pen of the Galaxy Z Fold 6. And I want to give my opinion on it, because that design on the front, I can see how they keep the front display skinny and ergonomical. Is that a word? Ergonomic on the basically the 50% lower half of the screen, and then on the top half you get the ability to use the phone, with a little bit bigger of a display. But at the same time, if it really, really looks like that front display, which again, maybe it won't, maybe they're just trying to create a 3D effect and that's why it looks like it. But if it looks like this, it's gonna have some kind of app incompatibility for sure. I mean, how is it gonna be, unless we're just gonna, when the apps are running, they're gonna be cut off on the sides now, the left and the right, and they'll be tall and skinny still. That's what I'm concerned with, is that this is gonna be an awkward phone, and that it's gonna be, could be top heavy because it's bigger on the top half and smaller on the bottom half. It's cool that it has the S Pen support on the front display. I know a lot of you guys want something like that. It'll also have it on the main display. It's a very, very interesting design. This is a very hard potential that this might come true. It might not come true the way this looks. This might be for a future design, but it is a patent that Samsung has pushed through to get approved. We've got an exclusive story for you. You will not hear this anywhere else, at least at the time I'm making this video. You probably will hear it months from now, but it is about the Google Pixel Fold 2. I have found out the display sizes for the front and inside displays, and I want to tell you something. Both of them are getting bigger, much bigger. Now, currently, the display sizes on here are 5.8 inches on the outside display, and then on the inside display, it's 7.6 inches. And to add on to that, it's kind of a weirdly shaped phone. Now, the outside display is like a passport, so if you travel with a passport, it's like that same kind of size. It's very usable. It looks great stuff on here. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. This display is it's really big, and it can be cool in some ways, but when you hold it like this, it just doesn't really make sense, because sometimes it does, I guess. You don't have to, if you want to watch a video long screen, it's good for that. But almost everything else, it's kind of awkward, and you have to flip it. But things are changing, guys. Big time things are changing. Now, if you love the way this phone is, the OnePlus Open, it's going to actually look kind of like this phone, but guess what, guys? Bigger than this. It's insane. I cannot believe it's going to be bigger than this. So the latest information that I'm getting about the Google Pixel Fold 2, and this is from a super reliable source, and I assume they'll let out this information later, but they gave it to me. I asked, and I indirectly got it. I was asking about the Z Fold 5 if they had any information, and they didn't yet, but they had Pixel Fold 2 information, and that is inside display will be 6.3 inch displays. I should say the outside display. Outside display will be 6.3 inches on the outside display. The inside display is going to be a whopping 8 inches, guys. 8 inches. This is 7.8. It's going to be 8 inches. So the Pixel Fold will have the same sized outside display as the OnePlus Open, but again, it's going to be bigger on the inside thus far from what we're learning about it, which is crazy. 7.8 versus 8 on the Pixel Fold 2. So it will be a departure versus what the design is on this. It's going to be more like that phone that I just showed you, but a little bit bigger. What do you guys think about this? Is it too big? Is it perfect? I'm excited for it. It should have their Tensor G3 processor in it. I would love for them just to wait a little bit longer and throw the G4 in there. The G3 isn't a huge departure performance-wise versus the G2. It's a little bit better, but not much. I'd like to see some more horsepower in there, and then obviously amazing battery life as well. So what do you got? We've got one story for you, and it's looking like it's an official leak of the launch date of the Galaxy S24 series, and it is really early, as we've been expecting. There's been rumors it's going to launch in January, and Korean media reports are reporting that it's going to be, again, basically the middle of January. This tweet came out from this guy, I can't even pronounce the name, sorry. According to the Korean media report, the Samsung Galaxy S24 series to launch on January 17th, 2024. And you can see right above, Max Jamber says, I can confirm it. Max Jamber always has a really good track record. And when we look at January 17th on a calendar, that is a Wednesday. That's usually when they launch things. So you can expect January 17th to also be the pre-order date of the phone. And then they usually release these phones about 2 weeks later. So the official release date would most likely be February 2nd. But then you're looking at the release date of sometime actually being in your hand if you pre-order it and stuff, sometime probably January 29th, 30, or 31st, which would still fall in with January. So this is weeks early than previous phones have been released on the S series, and you can expect this phone to be in hand again in January, the very tail end of January. Unless you buy it from Best Buy store, then yeah, okay, you'll probably get it February 2nd. But if you buy it from the carrier or directly from Samsung, they have a really great track record of shipping it out beforehand. Even in Europe, sometimes you see these phones go out the week prior to what I just said. So really, I'm gonna look at my calendar again, like January 25th or 26th, people in Europe would most likely have. Some people in America would too, but probably a smaller amount. Today's story is all about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and why it's going to outsell the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, there's a main reason why I am upgrading, but there's potentially another big reason to upgrade when this phone is released in January of 2024. And let's obviously talk about the thing that, the main reason you might want to upgrade to this, and the reason I'm personally wanting to upgrade to this, and that is the flat display. The display will be flat on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, more so than it has ever been in years. And with that, potentially the display will feel a little bit larger. It might feel it's going to give you a slightly different experience to the overall usage of the phone. They've definitely refined this curve throughout the years. When it was the S7 Edge, or maybe even before that, but the S7 Edge I really remember, that was man, that thing was really sharp on the edges in a way. I didn't personally love that feel. And now we have this phone, which is, again, you might hold this and it's not curved at all. Some people wouldn't really realize it, but I think when we hold this and then we go to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, things like that, you'll feel the difference physically if you're coming from this phone to that phone. Now, Pixel 7 Pro and 8 Pro, that was a curved display, slightly curved display, to a flat display, and you could feel the difference, but the overall screen size wasn't all that huge. So that's why I think that when the S24 Ultra comes out, that display is probably not going to feel all that much bigger or look all that much bigger versus this almost refined, almost flat, almost curved display that we get on the S23 Ultra. But what about the other thing? Well, the thing that Samsung's reportedly pushing with the S24 series and Ultra in general is AI baked into there. Potential systems of ChatGPT and Google Bard being built directly into the operating system of the S24 Ultra so that you can enhance the usage of your phone. Now, what, besides just making it maybe create an image for you or having it, whatever it may do, what's the point of it? How is that going to enhance our usage of the phone? And that remains to be seen. Obviously, if you had a Pixel 8 Pro, they have the AI built into it with wallpapers. You can create your own wallpapers, but it's not all that impressive because of the fact that when you use it, you can only choose and change certain words and they're already predefined for you. This potentially might be as good as, typing, create me a wallpaper with an elephant in the water in Kansas City with the Chiefs logo in the back, like something stupid like that. That would be something that would be useful if you could just easily create your own wallpapers right on the phone. Now you could just do that by going to the ChatGPT website or Google Bard website. You could do stuff like that. So what other things are we gonna see? I'm not sure. I'll be very curious how it enhances the usage of the phone if they make it the first truly AI used phone with a lot of enhancements built into it. But that could be a huge reason for people to upgrade, especially if they add a lot of good use case studies in there to enhance the value of the phone, especially throughout the years of owning the phone, especially when they're gonna have 5+ years of updates on these phones. So what do you guys think? What do you think is gonna be one of the main reasons to upgrade to the S24 Ultra? Let us know in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.